Larissa. And did you know today is Palm Sunday, first day of Holy Week, which is one of my favorite weeks of the year. And I want to read you a little story about what originally happened on the very first Palm Sunday. Because you might be thinking to yourself, well, what is Palm Sunday and what's it about? Well, I'm going to read you a chapter from the Book of Belonging. It's like a kid's Bible. I'm going to read you the chapter called A Peculiar Parade. Let's find out what happened on the very first Palm Sunday, shall we? All right. The rock goats stopped grazing to stare. The wild dogs trotted alongside, eager tongues lolling. The falcons circled, low and curious. The strangest procession was meandering down the road to Jerusalem. Students and scholars, rich women in their finery, fishermen with their stooped posture, lepers and beggars and children and animals, all following behind Jesus, who walked slowly and deliberately, as if the dusty road had been unrolled for his purpose alone. But what is his purpose? That was the question on everyone's mind as they trampled and chatted along like ducklings trailing their mama. I just watched him resurrect Lazarus, squealed a woman, her fine jewelry clinking in excitement. Do you think he'll do more miracles? He's going to gather an army, growled one man to another, gripping an old spear. Count me in. If the power machine falls, we'll belong again, hissed another beggar to another. For generations and generations, God's people had shared the old stories and asked the old questions and wrestled, wondering, is God still with us? Is God still good? Are we still loved? What about this Roman power machine? Are we forgotten? Have we forgotten? Someday God would send a rescuer, the old story said, and he will ride a donkey into the city. He will rescue the people and create a new place of belonging. Someday God will return to the city. Someday God will free them. And someday God will bring a new kingdom to earth. God had destroyed a power machine before, rescuing them from Pharaoh. Was Jesus the new Moses? Was this the beginning of a new great rescue? Nobody knew for sure. But when a donkey was brought to Jesus, he climbed on it, and the crowd's excitement bubbled in a frenzy. The procession continued, picking up more followers with every village they passed. The people began to sing and dance, waving palm branches, kind of like this one, and throwing their cloaks onto the road. Hosanna, Hosanna, they sang. Rescue us, please. Blessings to the new king. A group of religious leaders hurried up to Jesus as he sat upon the donkey, calming it as the storm surged around him. Correct them, they spluttered. Hush them. This talk of a new king could only anchor the power machine. But Jesus shrugged, dismissing them. If the people don't cry out, then the rocks will. And it truly felt as if the stones might cry. The joy and expectation seeped out from the crowd until it was felt even in the tree, even as if the trees were dancing, the rocks singing, and the clouds humming along. It seemed this strange celebration could not be contained. It tumbled and bumbled closer into the city, without any of the other order or frills you might expect from a royal procession. The songs got louder, and the dust cloud grew among stomps and whirls as a ragtag crowd spilled over the road. But if you had been there, if you had seen Jesus' face, you might have noticed something. Amid all the swirling celebration, Jesus was weeping. He stared at the grand city at the center of the promised land, where God had promised Abraham so many years before that God would bless the whole world. Tears streamed down his face, soaking his beard. Oh, sweet city, you may have heard him sob. Oh, my people, you think you know what peace is and how I will bring it. You don't understand, do you? And they didn't understand. Do we ever fully understand what God is up to in the mix of heaven and earth? But on trudged the donkey, with its riding, weeping, and the crowd singing. A most peculiar parade indeed. And that's the end of our story.